Jesus, a three-step mindset for happiness and inner peace. In Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the Canadian National Museum of Human Rights refers to Jesus as the traveling teacher of wisdom or traveling sage. Jesus of Nazareth once said that the greatest commandment is to love God with your whole heart, mind, and soul. And the second, just as great, is to love your neighbor as yourself. And on these two commandments, the 10 commandments of Moses reside. Psychology today stresses the importance of loving self first. These three resources, within ourselves, between ourselves, and with our higher power, can enable us, no matter what age, color, nationality, creed, religion, or spirituality, to deal with the transitions of demanding lifestyles and injustices and longings of the heart. To have peace and happiness in our lives, we need to have harmony and balance within ourselves, between ourselves, and with our higher power, however we understand that to be. Some organizations were archetypes of control and have preserved intellectual knowledge from past civilizations, from ordinary people. As we study, discover, and understand for ourselves past knowledge, the human race is more intelligent. In our world today, events make us focus, get back to basics and matters of the heart, and bring about what many are searching for, happiness and inner peace within ourselves. From a young age, we have had adults trying to stress the importance of exercise, sufficient sleep, and eating well. Taking care of ourselves builds our self-esteem and releases any negative energy that we may have stored up. Though we may go through stages of being preoccupied with nurturing our body image, we also need to feed our mind and spirit to have a daily balance within ourselves each day. It is this nourishing and acceptance of ourselves that enables us to be in a positive relationship with others. Stress comes from either thinking of the past with guilt and regrets, or of the future with longing. The secret to happiness is being at one with life now. Our first resource calls us to have harmony within ourselves in the relationship between our body, mind, and spirit. Between ourselves. Having mutual respect without labeling each other is required for healthy relationships to exist. But first, I need to know and own my truth to allow others the same opportunity. Pat Collins, in his book, Intimacy and the Hungers of the Heart, defines intimacy as self-disclosure, loving attention, which is key to human relationships to go beyond outward appearances to discover their inner truth. Today, we speak of this as a return to spirituality, as Omershu entitled his book, Reclaiming Spirituality. It is important that proponents of many cultural, sexual, moral, philosophical, and worldviews not impose their positions, their truths on others. When others can respect their views, opinions, and faith as you respect theirs, then there can be an openness and freedom to grow. Questions we need answered come to us by others on whom we project energy, and we meet at the right time. There are no coincidences. The universe is energy, and by keeping our energy high, by loving others, we receive love in return. The world is going through a shift in consciousness to global consciousness. We have an increased sense of being connected to others on the planet. We don't need to take the other person's energy to build ourselves up. We can get the power elsewhere, which is the message of the mystics and philosophers. Rather than compete and control, we need to respect and cooperate. As said, mutual respect is required for healthy relationships to exist. Otherwise, move beyond the possibility of reconciliation by accepting the fact that reconciliation is not possible. Be grateful for what was to move to a positive stance. Then let go and let God. So when you say enough, it comes from an inner space of peace with our higher power. Just the notion of God conjures up all kinds of images for people, and for many, these images are often quite harmful. The spiritual revival that is taking place today offers many of us new images of God that are more believable. These images help us connect more easily with nature and others, offering us hope, meaning, and purpose. Some relate to a higher power in support groups, whether religious or not. Others in nature, retreats, yoga, tai chi, meditation, among others. This relationship develops serenity, wonder, and a sense of gratitude. No matter what name we give to our higher power, Allah, Yahweh, Krishna, Manitou, universal intelligence, divine presence, among others, we need to learn how to relate in a positive way to a higher power for a healthy, balanced life. Many third generations have abandoned a personal relationship with God, and this resource or spiritual relationship is not passing on. The concept is foreign to many today, although we know humanity needs to awaken to live a balanced life in a spirit of humble gratitude. Our culture is very competitive, driven by consumerism, materialism, and a growing sense of entitlement. We want the best and we want it now, but this will not sustain us. Creativity comes from stillness, which is difficult for many people today. Fortunately, many indigenous cultures, in rediscovering their native rituals and cultures, will help many of us learn how to reconnect to Mother Earth and ways of cultivating stillness, trying to survive. If there isn't a balance or harmony between us and our higher power, we may feel that we merely exist, trying to survive. Each of us has our concerns as we deal with stress and expectations. We often feel preoccupied with relationships. Often our successes bring more expectations, and often our achievements leave us wanting more. These may cause fears and anxiety of allowing change. We may identify with our roles or beliefs, causing inner conflicts. We may feel hostile towards others, that our higher power is merely an illusion. In this state, we attract others who are in the same energy field as we are. Being in a healthy relationship sometimes means finding a counselor and support groups made up of individuals who are going through similar situations, especially if family and friends are not supportive. Quick fix. When there isn't balance or harmony within ourselves and with each other and our higher power, our ego gets easily hurt. We go on the defensive and feed on the negative energy of guilt and shame. What do we do when we are in this treadmill, trying not feeling satisfied with our efforts? The imagination quickly motivates us to get a quick fix, to comfort ourselves, to feel better, more relaxed, and less stressed. And it doesn't matter if we choose food, sex, a drink, or smoke. But these quick fixes never satisfy us for long, and quickly we look for more. A positive and optimistic energy. The spiritual journey we're all on is meant not to be a pang of long, guilt-ridden, holier-than-thou, gut-wrenching trip. Instead, it is a daily choice to rise with a positive outlook. It's about living a healthy, balanced life with the three resources that we have each been given. When there is a balance or harmony within ourselves, between each other, and with our higher power, we have optimistic energy. We experience joy and happiness within ourselves. And in this positive energy, good happens, and we attract others who are in our positive energy field. When we are self-aware, we can better connect to our conscience and know something is right when our conscience is clear, which is why we need to learn and trust its voice and be responsible for our choices. Only then can we become the unique persons we are to be, whether we have a few or many years to live. A new era. The three resources that Jesus spoke of 2,000 years ago remind us to love ourselves. By accepting the resources within ourselves, we are responsible for our choices in the relationships between our body, mind, and spirit. To love our neighbor. With the resource that exists in the relationships, we have mutual respect rather than competition and control, and we can respect and cooperate. To love God, and that with the resource that exists in our relationship with our higher power, we are in daily gratitude for everything and everyone that make up our spiritual journey. These three resources will offer you guidance, a structural framework for your life, and the peace and happiness that so many long for in demanding lifestyles, injustices, and longings of the heart.